Tom Beesley, our Vice President of Public Relations, will be wearing another of his many hats. This one is really making him money as a school teacher. As a school teacher return, Tom Beesley will take on a challenge of showing participants with educators as a weird school year begins. Please help me welcome Tom Beesley.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. If the past few days are any indication, if you have students who are either heading back to school, maybe are already back at school in a classroom or on a computer, I would ask, if you have an opportunity, not only to be benevolent, but have patience with teachers. Folks, we're doing the best we can in a tough situation. I've had to stop looking at Facebook, particularly those posts that say teachers are lazy, they just don't want to work. That's not true for the faculty where I teach, I can promise you. Over the last several days, I've talked with many, and I don't know any of us who are not ready, willing, and able to see our kids, and they are our kids, when our doors open, particularly tomorrow. Now, we'll only have a third of our students tomorrow, but still, it'll be nice to see some of those nice, friendly, and sometimes unfriendly faces back in our building. I'd ask you to have patience. I'd ask you to teach your children, your students, whether they're children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, nieces, nephews, great-nieces, great-nephews, all to have patience, particularly with teachers. Now, most people think teachers have all the answers. I'm here to tell you, we don't. At least not right now. Unfortunately, folks think we have the answers. Not true. Sometimes we have many of the same questions you have about the way things will operate. Some of that comes from the fact that we have yet to be told, because things are changing not only day by day, but hour by hour, and in many cases, minute by minute. Teachers here in Robertson County were ready to see students tomorrow. We'll see a third of our students on Wednesday, a third of our students on Thursday, and a third of our students on Friday. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the introduction said a weird school year. This is going to be the strangest school year I have experienced. There are a lot of things that we used to take for granted that we are finding out we've got to be more diligent with. Probably the biggest problem for teachers like me is social distancing. As there was a post on Facebook that said, adults have failed miserably at social distancing, and we expect kindergartners to get it right. Well, I will tell you, being the husband of a former kindergarten teacher, I'll bet you the kindergartners get it right. For high school students, can you imagine the number of potential breakups there are coming because students have to stay 6 feet apart. Have patience. If we say, and teachers will say this, I already know several, including yours truly, who will say to the question from a student, I don't know. Now, that doesn't mean we won't try to find out the answer and try to help that student. But ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned earlier, it is going to be difficult. Things are changing day by day by day. Robertson County has already moved its actual start date for all our students to come back to school to the 19th. And part of that's because, quite honestly, we're not ready. We're not ready with the cleaning supplies that teachers have been promised from the state. So have a little patience. And particularly as we navigate this so-called new normal, which, as my principal said the other day, he doesn't like, because it's so different for us. We want students to be there. Take a deep breath before you ask a question and think about how difficult it's been for us to answer when sometimes we don't know even the right question to ask. So I would ask for patience. Take your time. Don't expect an immediate answer. Do expect an answer, but give us a little time. Please practice patience, not only with teachers, but with everybody in these weird times and this weird school year. Mr. Toastmaster,